Dabula. And introducing on my right, weighing in at 60,60 kilograms, wearing red and white trunks, Phillip Holiday.
Well, as you heard, Holiday got quite a big cheer there. He's quite a popular fighter with the crowds. He's established himself after his 4 or 5 professional fights. And the crowd do like him because of his very colourful all-action style. Dabula, of course, a fighter who hasn't been seen in this type of climate before. He's fought mostly in the smaller shows.
Round number 1.
But this is his break into the, what you could almost call the big time, a chance to shine in the Sun City Super Bowl. And that's what every young fighter wants to do. Quite a smooth boxer normally is Dabula. He's not usually rattled too easily. I've seen him in a couple of his earlier fights, and he does keep going quite smoothly. He's got a nice balance, uses the left jab well, and keeps his head. And that's a big thing, I think, against a fighter like Holiday, because Holiday, once he gets going, will come in with an all-action style. He has both hands blazing. He loves to get in and make a fight of it. He has been faulted for being a little bit slipshod and defense at times, inclined to take a few too many punches himself. But of course, the man who loves to have a go in boxing is the one who must be prepared to take a few punches.
With the Phillip's corner, telling him to relax a little bit. The two boxers still sizing each other up in the middle, with Dabula throwing heavy body punches.
Dabula actually landed with a very good right hand to the head there, caught Holiday with a shot over the top of Holiday's guard. That's something Holiday has to watch out for. He's inclined to drop that left hand if he's a bit too much. A lot of eyes on Holiday in a fight like this. A lot of people interested in pushing his career forward. He's really one of the, what you can say, more chosen boys, perhaps what you could call a golden boy of golden gloves. And one of the promoting bodies who's really pushing him. Brings in the left jab quite well, does Holiday, but he has a tendency to drop the left shoulder when he does it, and that leaves him open to that right hand shot.
Phillip got Dabula with a left hook there.
Well, of course, Holiday has one of the neatest little left hooks in the business. He throws it with a great deal of venom. I've seen him drop opponents with that punch, and that I think, of anything, is his best punch. There again he lands it. It's a good short-range punch. He throws it off the back foot and does it very well. But as the round ended, that was Dabula doing the attacking, and Dabula shaping pretty confidently, I think, a very good even first round.
You've got to do a little bit more work, okay, Flip? You see,
In the corner,
he sees your punches coming, he ducks. You've got to get closer, okay? And when he gets closer, that's about it. When he gets closer, you've got to work the body. Bang, 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 bang. Work the body, okay?
Ballbrick looking for more body shots. In the other corner, Dabula, Andre Kumabor is his handler.
Hands to work, hands to work. Jab him under.
Telling him to use the jab more, keep him at long range.
Second round, round number 2.
Round 2 in a filling up Super Bowl. The crowd's moving in now, starting to put atmosphere into the place as we go into the second round of this fight. And there's that Holiday left hand going. hooking off the jab. Does that very well. What Dabula must do here is keep it at long range. He was clipped by a right hand there, a short right to the head, and that caught him, wobbled him for the moment. Holiday looking for the opening for that left hand. Getting a little wild, but there. A left hook drops Dabula on the seat of his pants. Referee Clem Martin takes up the count. He gets up to 8, and it's box on. Now it's Holiday moving in. Holiday now will look for the kill. He's a very good finisher, this young man. When he senses the chance to go in, he goes in. Rather neat evasive boxing there from Dabula at the moment, keeping out of trouble, bringing his arms and elbows up in defensive position.
I see Dabula's left hand eyes swollen.
Give it to Dabula. That knockdown might have stunned him for a moment, but he's certainly right back into the fight. He's having a go, and he clips Holiday with a good right hand to the head. He's certainly showing courage here and going in with Holiday on the ropes. Holiday swings him round. This is turning into a good fight. Holiday obeying instructions in between rounds. Harold Volbrecht told him, I want more body shots, and that he's getting. Both of them showing a good deal of respect for each other at the moment. They're keeping it at long range. Neither prepared to really go in too close at times. And that right hand from Dabula finds its mark once again over the top of Holiday's guard. That's one thing he's going to have to do, is to learn to protect the left-hand side of his face. Oh, and a right hand from Holiday finds its mark. Dabula comes right back into it. Game young man, this.
Phillip is showing the ability to open up Dabula's guards, and he landed quite superbly on his face.
Referee Clem Martin hasn't had a lot of work to do here, apart from the count just now. These two men keeping it at long range and keeping... Of course, the knockdown swings it decisively in the favor of Holiday, which puts him ahead at this stage. But it's still an open fight, and Dabula still showing a lot of courage and a lot of ability. He's in there. He hasn't been beaten yet.
Yes, Dabula's taken some bit of punishment in the second round, and we hope that he will come out a little bit stronger in the third round to try and protect his left eye, which is already swollen. And I can see that Phillip is working very meticulously at that eye, trying to close it completely.
All right. Otherwise, you're doing fine, okay? You got to keep your left hand up.
And here we go into round 3. Round 3 of a 6-round lightweight bout, opening bout on this bill at the Sun City Super Bowl. What intrigues me is the fact that Dabula, who is a very good long-range boxer, hasn't been using the jab very much. He's more inclined to want to have a close range go, trying to get in beyond Holiday's own lead. That's what has allowed him to walk into a couple of those left hands from Holiday, one of which dropped him. And the Harold Volbrecht advice to Holiday of get into the body, throw them in down there, is starting to pay off. Holiday moving in with short punches to the body. Oh, and a nice right hand from Dabula. Stung Holiday then, bounced him into the ropes for a moment. I think he felt the power of that one all right. And there we have it again. Holiday dropping his left hand. Leaves himself right open to that right hand to the head.
Come up now and again, but not stand the whole time.
I think Holiday was helped by the ropes there.
Yeah, but you must come
That
down.
shot ride was a little bit heavy.
Nice evasive boxing from Dabula there. Slipping and weaving his way out of punches. Holiday throwing them and going over the top or around the side. There again, the same action. Slippery customer is Mr. Dabula. He's not easy to hit. And he's a going young fighter. He's looking for the opportunity. This is a will-o'-the-wisp game. Catch me if you can type of thing going on in the quarter there.
The two boxers are quite courageous, sucking it out in the middle of the ring. Action all the time.
One thing I will say for Dabula, he's certainly not overcome by the occasion. A lot of fighters are overawed when they get in this ring, but that hasn't been the instance with him. He's full of fight, ready to have a go. So far, it's been a good test for young Holiday. He's finding his hands full with an opponent who's prepared to give him as good as he's taken. Into one of their rare clinches they go, and they break it themselves. Holiday putting on the pressure, tries to get through there, but neat defensive boxing by Dabula keeps him out of trouble as they go back to their corner at the end of what is now the halfway mark in this fight.
So Dabula was a little bit slow there to cling at the time when he missed and Phillip nearly dropped him. He struggled a little bit there, showed a little bit of inexperience.
Well, you see on the slow-mo there's that right hand that caught Holiday and bounced him into the ropes. He was momentarily hurt. He's keeping just on top of everything, I think, as Holiday. He's edging out in front most of the way, but he's inclined to leave himself a little too open to that overhand right to the head.
Okay.
Second round, round number 4.
Round number 4. I think there's a lot of people who didn't think it would go this far, but Dabula is doing a pretty good job of work up there. Evasive type. Not easy to hit. Took another left hand to the head there, and that's what he can't afford to do, because Holiday, once he gets that left hand going, it gets it effectively as a hard man to beat. I get that feeling, though, that there isn't as much fire in Holiday as there has been in some of his recent fights, and I think the Marula bout he had with Muzi Vilakazi, which was a humdinger, they went at one another for 6 rounds non-stop. I think that might have taken a little edge off of him. I think this fight might have come just a bit too soon. He certainly is a good deal off target with his punches. They're not as crisp as they normally are, and he's doing a lot of fly swatting. Actually, he's catching thin air. Dabula, of course, is helping because Dabula is a slippery young customer. The pace of the fight is actually slowed down considerably now. It's not as fast as it was in the early stages. Holiday going in with both hands blazing, and it was Dabula who landed a good right to the head and another. He's getting that right hand home. Oh, goes in there and he stops a short right himself. That pushed him backwards for a moment, but he's still back into the fight. Nice body work from Holiday. Holiday learning, of course, from one of the masters of body punching, Harold Volbrecht. Harold was a very, very effective body puncher in his day. There, a short punch. That hurt Dabula, and down he went. I'd say, if anything, the tide may now be turning. Dabula was hurt by that, and he's going to have a bit of a struggle keeping himself going. With a good punch from Holiday, good right hand, that hurt him. And that's, well, the gong comes to save him at the end of the round, but that knockdown puts Holiday well out in front of his bout. Two knockdowns like that, 10-8 points each time. He's now well up with only 2 rounds to go. There you see how he made that mistake before he was actually dropped, of walking into that punch. It was a left hook, actually, that did the damage. The right dropped him eventually, but it was a short left hook that did the damage. And I think that stunned him a little more than he expected to. But he's put up a good fight. This has been a close contest, despite the 2 knockdowns. If you ruled out those 2 knockdowns, it's otherwise been a very close encounter.
Well, the 5th round has started now with Phillip Holiday coming out. More forceful than in the previous 4 rounds. I think his dropping Dabula in the 4th round has really given him a lot of courage, and he's coming out smoking with Dabula trying to keep up to the pace of the fight in the 5th round. There they are. Doing some body work in the middle of the ring. A long right shot from Dabula. Close fight there. Dabula missing and holding, and the referee warning him for his head.
Yes, I just moved out of my chair for a moment because while the action's going on, and it's now Dabula putting on the pressure here and getting back well into the fight, hurting Holiday for a change. And while all that was going on, I was moving out of my chair to bring in a guest that we have with us this afternoon. We're going to have chats in between the fights from a voice you haven't heard much of, but you've seen plenty of in person, the IBF Junior Featherweight Champion of the world. Welcome, Nita. Welcome, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ned.
It's good to have you here at the ringside. We're going to ask you a lot of questions just now about Jackie Gunguluza's fight, and we're going to look forward to some of the comments you're going to make during that fight.
Okay, fine.
And here we go back to the action in the ring, and it's Dabula putting on the pressure, going into Holiday. Some blood on Holiday's arm there, but I think it might come from Dabula rather than from Holiday. Short punches to the head from both, but I don't think a lot of power behind them. Quite a few short-range blows rattling off Dabula's chin there. Dabula is actually taking a little bit more punishment now than he was earlier in the fight. Seems to be a little bit of blood coming from the side of his nose, and I know his left eye has been giving him some trouble. And that is the end of the 5th round. I think this fight has actually gone along a lot better than many people thought, although Dabula must realize that he's trailing pretty well now. He's, after the 2 knockdowns, he's behind on points. His only hope really would be to try and score a knockout. But he's put up a gallant game display, and he's given a good start to this program.
But I think we took a lot of punishment in the 5th round. What do you think if I were in his corner? I think that the punishment was too much for him. At some stage, Phillip turned his head into a sort of a punching bag, and his left eye is badly injured, swollen, almost to a stage of being completely closed.
Well, he's now 3 minutes away from completing a fight. 3 minutes away from going the distance in his first appearance at Sun City. And I think that's as much as any young fighter like this would want to say. I think to be able to say, look, I went the distance, I was beaten on points, it was my debut there, that's as much honor as anything else. I think he really wants to try for that.
Phillip is using his left jab very well. And Dabula also counteracting with body punches.
Well, I think if you have a close look at Dabula, both eyes are pretty well puffed up now. There's a swelling underneath the right eye as well. And I think the effects of the short-range blows Holiday has been throwing are showing on him. But what a great young lad he has been. If he can just keep going for the rest of this fight, and he looks like he's going to, because he keeps throwing those punches back at Holiday. Ready to have a go. And it's Holiday swarming all over Dabula now. Dabula doing his best to hang on, to hold on, holding on for bitter death to the end of the fight, but it looks like he's in trouble. Referee Clem Martin steps in, stops the fight. He wobbled rather badly there, and well, he didn't make it to the end of that 6th round, but I think referee Martin was correct, because he was just a little bit too wobbly on his feet to keep going.
He was hanging on to dear life, I think, and the referee did well by stopping the fight. What do you think of the 2 boxers? Welcome.
Well, pretty good fighters. Unfortunately, I'm sorry I have to say I don't know the name of that other guy. What's it? Phillip. He's good. If he can put up a little bit of punch behind these, he's a little bit power behind his punches. I mean, he can go places. He's got all the tools. He's got all the equipment, to go places. I mean, he's got everything. Otherwise, the fight was good. Both boxers were good.
Thank you very much indeed.
Well, there you see the slow-mo of what was happening in the closing stages of that fight. Holiday really putting on the pressure, going in and banging away, catches Dabula with that left hand, and that left hand of Holiday's is really his best punch. That short hook to the head, it's devastating, it causes trouble, and there Dabula starts his descent to the canvas. He was actually hurt a few seconds before by the left hand. It's more delayed action than anything else, and in that case I think the referee was right in jumping in when he did, because when you have a fighter going down from delayed action like that, it shows signs that he is starting to show the wear and tear of the fight.
Winner by a technical knockout, 1 minute and 34 seconds into round 6, Phillip Holiday!
Right, well,